Derek Cianfrance, how does he approach you? How would you compare his working style?
Well, the way that we worked on this movie was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. I'll probably never experience it again. And every time I work on another movie, I call Derek and say, I knew at the time it was special, but I didn't know how special. And I wish I could do it all over again with this double appreciation that I'm now living with and don't have a release for, don't have an outlet for. I wish I could do it all again knowing what I know now. Because it was like, it's the way I've always dreamed of working, but you didn't think anybody would actually ever let you do, because it takes time, and time is money, and there isn't a lot of money to go around. In that, a few things. He bought us, the movie takes place and is told in two intercutting
Time
frames. And so for the first time frame, when we're young and falling in love, what basically happened is Ryan and I knew each other very casually. Well, met a couple times, and we came together to make this movie, said hello, hi, how are you, nice to see you again, and then heard action. And we shot like that for about 3 weeks. And then we were supposed to take a week break, age ourselves, rehearse a little bit, figure out how we were going to attack the next time frame. And what Derek discovered, fought for, and won was to extend that break. So that what was supposed to be a week wound up being 3, maybe almost 4 weeks, because we needed more time. We needed more time to age. We needed more time to build up the kind of toxicity in the relationship, that kind of erosion. We weren't capable of making that real in a week, because we'd built up this thing, this trust, this love, this empathy for each other, this deep respect, and none of us wanted to break it down. So Derek bought us time. They rented us a house. The house that's in the movie was our house, and we would go there to work, to rehearse, but it wasn't really rehearsal. It was inhabitation. We would show up and we went grocery shopping. We made a budget. We went grocery shopping. We had our pictures taken at a Sears portrait studio. We cooked dinners. We baked cakes. We threw birthday parties. We made home movies. There's hours and hours of footage of us, of home movies, of bonding with our daughter, about learning how to, learning about, and learning how to fight, because that was something that wasn't coming very naturally to either Ryan or myself. And so Derek would leave us alone all day, say, Michelle, you pick a fight, and then Ryan, you pick a fight, and then I'm going to come in and give you guys something to fight about. And then after all that was done, we would have to take our daughter to a family fun center and pretend like everything was okay.
Wow. Now this reminds me a little bit of the kind of thing that Mike Leigh would do. Do you have an admiration for that whole process? Have you followed that? Have you watched that?
I would love to be a part of that. I got to work on a Mike Leigh play when I was maybe 21 or something. I did this play called Smelling a Rat. One of the most satisfying experiences of my life, because you can feel, I mean, I just got to benefit from the 5 years of work that he and the troupe of actors put in on this, because everything, the thing is like a web. Every word, every sentence, every thought is connected to something else. It's so layered and detailed, and there's nothing extraneous, there's nothing that's unnecessary, because these people have fully inhabited their characters in the situation and all that stuff. Boy, that sounded pretentious. And I had the benefit of all that hard work by playing one of these parts. So I had a taste for it, because I knew what it was like to work on the Mike Leigh thing, and so I'd always been curious I've always just kind of desired to work that way. I've always wanted to be in a troupe of actors. Like, I'd love to follow Peter Brooks around the country, or something like that. I'd like to be in a troupe. I'd like to...
You like theater?
I do. I really like it. But because I like the idea of family. I like the idea of things I like the idea of repeat business. I like the idea that you don't exhaust yourself on a director or on a part, on a movie, and then sort of get chewed up and spit out and on to the next one. I like the idea that people will continue to regenerate their creativity and their intellect and continue to inspire each other over time so that they can continue to work together. That really appeals to me, and I'd like to find that.
I wanted to congratulate you for your Independent Spirit nomination, and they actually extended, so there were 6 actresses, but they didn't do that for the men. What happened there? I mean, it just doesn't seem fair.
Can you tell me what
So they
that's
say
about?
we want 6 actresses and they don't want 6 men, and then Ryan gets left out.
Can you tell me what that's about?
No.
What do you think?
It
I have
makes
no
no
idea.
sense.
I want to ask the question.
They must have been passionate enough, so passionate, the people voting, for the 6 actresses, that they fought for 1 extra. Who knows who that was, right? I mean, they were all fighting for it. In the case of the men, they didn't seem to have the same strength of feeling. That's all. I mean, that's all you can come up with. But it doesn't seem fair. And we don't know if Ryan was the 6th one. Or you don't even know. But you must have felt pretty weird about that.
Yeah, I was. I don't quite know how to feel about it. It doesn't feel right.
Because you did it together, didn't you?
And anything that's of any value in my performance is because of who I had to respond to. He reminds me very much of somebody else that I used to know, but he is an uncommon man and an uncommon actor.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, he's the tops.